Turkish Airlines Euroleague in association with...
To the Alexander Nikolic Hall, one of the most formidable places to play in the Euroleague. This evening, Crvena Zvezda look to second-year man Stratos Perperoglu to get their season back on track. With 18 points in his last outing, the three-time Euroleague champion leads the charge against his former club, Barcelona. For the Catalans, new signing Brandon Davies has been instrumental in guiding the two-time champions to a perfect 3-0 start to the year. From Belgrade, it's round 4 in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. This is the continent of Europe's premier basketball competition. Well, good evening and welcome everyone to the capital of Serbia, Belgrade. These scenes filmed earlier tonight. We have a treat in store for you. If you've never seen a game here at the Alexander Nikolic Hall, well, put your seatbelt on. This proves to be what should be a fantastic encounter between a Barcelona team who come into tonight's game with a perfect 3-0 record against the Crvena Zvezda club looking to get their second win here at home. You can see the Barcelona players getting off the coach earlier tonight. Ante Tomic, no stranger to this arena. There's Pierre Oriola, the Spanish international. And Barcelona looking very focused and very businesslike indeed as they make their way here into the changing room in this storied arena. It's not very big, no more than 8,000 people. It's a homecoming of sorts for Coach Pesic. And great to see Alex Abrines, and here, of course, Nikola Mirotic from Montenegro originally, as we get a chance to chat to Coach Pesic.
They demonstrate very good basketball, and we have big respect. And we know to play here in Belgrade is not easy for us, but new challenge.
Well, the thoughts there of Coach Pesic. It's a homecoming of sorts for him. He was with his club on 2 occasions back in 08, 09, and then in 2011, 2012. Coach Pesic, not from Belgrade, from Novi Sad originally. As we see the players here making their way to their home arena, the members of the Crvena Zvezda team. We get a chance to talk to their coach tonight.
Yeah, it's true that things are changing. For me, it's first game as a head coach in this occasion. The game is important. It's a nice opportunity because we don't need some extra motivation for the opponent.
Well, those are the sentiments of Coach Andrea Gavrilovic, who replaces Milan Tomic. And Gavrilovic, who was an assistant under Tomic. First chance for him to get at the helm of Crvena Zvezda. Well, regular season round 4 action in store for you as Crvena Zvezda of Belgrade play host to FC Barcelona. Here's a look at how things will pan out tonight in round 4 Thursday night basketball. We're starting round 4 in his 20th anniversary of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. And here's how the table stands at the moment. So Barcelona right at the top, 3-0. And Crvena Zvezda with that 1-2 start in 9th position. They will relish the opportunity to try and knock Barcelona off top position. Corey Higgins in his first season with the Catalans going through his warm-up tonight. Higgins lifted the crown last year with CSKA Moscow, had 22 points in the win last week against Alba Berlin to match the number on his chest. This Kyle Kuric going through his shooting routine. Well, that routine served him well. He had 24 points in round 2 against Zenit. And Nikola Mirotic, who last week played his 100th game in the Euroleague in the win over Alba, threw in 18 points. A homecoming of sorts, Mirotic from Montenegro originally, although he wears the colors of Spain internationally. And here's a look in that game over Alba Berlin. 24 points in 25 minutes. Efficient scoring from the Spanish international. Lorenzo Brown, we go across the midcourt stripe now to look at the players from Crvena Zvezda. Brown in his first EuroLeague campaign. Speaking of campaigns, what an experienced warrior we have here. James Giss, his first year with Crvena Zvezda in his 11th season in the EuroLeague. Of course, most of those with the green of Panathinaikos. And Stratos Perperoglou, who also wore the green of Panathinaikos to lift a EuroLeague crown twice in 09 and 11 in his second season here with Red Star. Perperoglou is setting the pace for this club. He averages 14.7 points per game. And there was his round one stats against his former club, Panathinaikos. So Perperoglou on the left and Mirotic on the right. I don't think they'll go head-to-head against each other. They play different positions. Mirotic, a classic stretch four, can face the basket, can play inside a little bit. You know, Perperoglou, more of a wing player, play the three spot. But both of them out to good starts to the season, as you briefly saw their numbers against each other in a head-to-head contest. Well, for me, Liam Canny, as ever, it is my privilege to be with you tonight. A very warm welcome to you to the Alexander Nikolic Hall here in the capital of Serbia. You get a look across the bottom of your screen at the lineup for Barcelona. We must note that Barca will be without the services of quite a few players tonight, as Victor Claver, Pau Rivas, Malcolm Delaney are all scratches, and Kevin Pangos and Tomar Hertel also with long injuries. So Barca without the services of 5 talented players. And you can see here the team roster for Crvena Zvezda. Branko Lazic, number 10, is the captain. But however many players you're going to see across the bottom of your screen, you're going to have to add one more. And that is the 6th man in this competition, the fans, who will add. And you know, someone needs to tell these fans that the game hasn't started yet. They are already in fourth quarter form as they add such fantastic atmosphere to this game, and they will do all they can to spur their team on to get Crvena Zvezda to strain every sinew to try to get a win. Barcelona, of course, an experienced team with plenty of talent, will relish the opportunity to come here and get a win on the road. Here's the tail of the tape. How the two teams rank against each other. You can see Barcelona averaging 88 points per game. They've been over 100 on a couple of occasions. Crvena Zvezda just 73 points per game. And we'll see how this one plays out. There's Ante Tomic, the Croatian international. He'll know the atmosphere in this crowd as he comes back to the Balkans. So the players, now having gone through a brief warm-up, will make their way to the sideline as we get ready to bring them out onto the floor at the behest of the PA announcer. Big smiles there from Pierre Oriola. You know, the players will love this. Of course, it's a formidable place to play, but you know, these are the games you live for. Those are the reasons you practice those extra hours in the gym. And Barca will love to come out here and try to keep the crowd out of this. Get a bright early start, get a lead, and then make their way back to Barcelona. Well, the PA announcer now will bring the players out onto the floor. And as you can imagine, the Barcelona players get a very warm reception here from this partisan crowd. Ante Tomic, the first out onto the floor, stands 2.17 meters. They'll need all of his length tonight. And this Barcelona team, you know, it's a revamped lineup for them. And, you know, one of the questions you would ask about them as they brought in so many new players, Corey Higgins, Alex Abrines, Nikola Mirotic, you know, how would the team blend? And here they are. The short answer to the question is, at the early stage of the season, well, they're blended pretty well. They're 3-0 coming into tonight's game with wins over FS, Zenit St. Petersburg, and Alba Berlin. Now, the lights go out here in the arena. I'm not entirely sure what the capacity of this arena is. I've seen a few different numbers, 6,500, 8,000, whatever it is, however many there are, who will make their presence known. as Cevena make their way onto the floor. Just the 6th time that this club has appeared in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. Crvena Zvezda were in the Euro Cup last year. They're here by nature of the fact that they won the Adriatic League, champions in 2019. And last year in the Euro Cup, they were 8-8. They got to the top 16, but went no further. And tonight, they come into tonight's contest with a 1-2 record. They lost to Panathinaikos in their opening game, close, 87-82. And then they beat Fenerbahce right here in this arena, their only home game so far, 68-56, as the two coaches meet at midcourt. And then last week they lost at Maccabi on the road. So a bit of home cooking now as Crvena Zvezda come back to their home arena. Good to see some Barcelona colors here in the crowd. And we've got the horns blaring. And the Barca fans going to try and do their bit to lift their voices and be heard over what will be a din of noise in this arena. So Coach Pesic, as I mentioned in my opening comments, coached here at Crvena Zvezda on 2 separate occasions in 2008 and 9 and 2011 and 12. Before we brought you live images, he got a very warm reception, it must be said, from the crowd here. It's a very knowledgeable basketball fan. Not only are they passionate about the round ball game, but of course extremely knowledgeable about the traditions, the history, the tactics, the strategy. And so they paid their respects to Coach Pesic. For Coach Gavrilovic, it's the first time he's been a head coach, but he's got a marvelous resume of experience at Unicaja, Unix Kazan, Himki, and Crvena Zvezda. The starting 5 for Barca, it's Higgins, Hanga, and Abrines on the perimeter, Mirotic and Davies inside. And then Crvena Zvezda will counter with Brown, the captain, Lazic, Davidovic, Simanic, Gist in the center. So Nikola Mirotic receives a token of affection here. Of course, Mirotic from this region in the world. He's from Podgorica originally, but at an early age, 18, he went to play for Real Madrid. He's only 28 years old, 28 years of age, so he's got plenty of miles still, plenty of basketball still to play. And last week, Mirotic played his 100th game in the EuroLeague. As you get a look at Coach Gavrilovic, Mirotic was with Real Madrid from 2008 to 2014. Coming back to the EuroLeague, he will now don the colors of Barcelona. Our officiating crew tonight, French referee on the right, and of course for the referees a chance to get on planes, trains, and automobiles to travel the length and breadth of the continent. They'll do their domestic season on the weekends and then come to the European venues. Well, the Barcelona fans putting their hands together and shouting Barca. We'll see how long they can be heard, but all credit to them, just adding to the atmosphere here in what we hope will be a scintillating contest. Just the 7th time these two teams have met one another. Barca with a 4-2 advantage. As we mentioned, Perperoglu leads Crvena Zvezda in scoring, averaging 14.7 points per game. James Gist with 11, and then Billy Barron, the rookie, with close to 9 points. We'll see if he comes off the bench, as you see Michael Ojo, the Nigerian center for Crvena Zvezda. And the Barcelona players led in scoring by Mirotic with 19.7 points, Higgins with 12.5. And the players now pause here as we try to hear the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague theme song over the voices of the Crvena Zvezda fans. Well, fans, I can tell you that the EuroLeague song was played here in the arena in the speakers, but such is the noise of the home faithful, very difficult to hear. And so Barca will look to weather now this atmosphere early on, get a good start, keep their composure as they go toe-to-toe here with Crvena Zvezda. Barca make their 20th appearance in the modern EuroLeague. They've won this crown twice, back in '03 when they beat Benetton Treviso in Barcelona. More recently in 2010 when they beat Olympiacos in Paris. They've been to the Final Four on 14 occasions, but not since 2014. Could this be the start to a Final Four season for Barcelona? The referee's in the center circle, the ball's in the air, and we are underway here in the Alexander Nikolic Hall as Barcelona square off against Crvena Zvezda. First possession to the visitors as Crvena Zvezda settle in to some man-to-man defense. Hunga rides the screen of Davies. That pass just caught by Abrines. Davies now with a mismatch on Branko Lazic, goes to work on the baseline. The baseline jump shot no good, and Lorenzo Brown skies for the rebound. So Barcelona also starting in man-to-man defense. Crvena Zvezda with their first possession, trying to get things going. Simonic knocks down the jump shot, and we're underway here in Belgrade as the hosts jump out to a 2-0 start. The strength of the mid-range jumper from Simonic. Good response by Barcelona. Adam Hunga with the deuce. Ojo wide open, strolling down the lane. Davies can't recover quickly enough, and Michael Ojo acknowledges the pass and then hustles back on defense. Lazic, good ball pressure on Adam Hunga. Davies snaps a pass to Higgins here in the corner. Baseline mid-range jumper, strikes iron. Crvena Zvezda clear their boards. Here's Brown, inside out dribble. Skips a pass, extra pass to Davanovac, let's fly, and it's in and out. Great spacing by Crvena Zvezda. Clean look by Davanovac, just couldn't knock it down. Abrines, that hits the heel of the rim. And Davies with the offensive rebound. Slides a pass to Mirotic, who lays it up and in. So Adam Hunga tries to stay close to Lorenzo Brown. Well, Davanovac was wide open on the give and go, but Brown didn't get it to him quickly enough. Michael Ojo from the elbow, smooth as you like. Well, Brandon Davies challenged him to pull the trigger on that. And Ojo shows good touch. Great defense by Lazic. The French referee tells him to get up and get on with it. Mirotic with a bomb. And that finds nothing but metal. Well, Brown wants to go quickly. Great defense by Abrines as he strips Davanovac. Great steal by Alex Abrines. He's going to dispossess Davanovac and then push the ball down the floor to Adam Hunga. Branko Lazic with a tactical foul to stop the break. We've got our first personal foul of the night. Well, Alex Abrines returns to the club that he started with as a youngster. A couple of seasons playing in the States. Higgins calls his own number, and that rims out. Brown on the right hand. Brown, the scoop and score by Lorenzo Brown. He just kept Adam Hunga on his left hip and went all the way to the glass. Brown with the foul here on the ball. Looks like he might have got an elbow in practice. Yeah, just a reaching foul there by Lorenzo Brown. He'll acknowledge the foul. Just sending a little message there to Adam Hunga. Charles Jenkins steps into the game. Jenkins in his third stint with Crvena Zvezda. Higgins slides a pass to Davies, who rises. It won't drop. And Ojo sweeps, snaps a quick outlet pass to Jenkins for his first touch. Jenkins behind the screen of Ojo. His shot short. And Abrines couldn't keep his big toe off the line. Jenkins off the screen. Now he'll get a ball screen here from Simanic. Another one from Ojo. Tough pass inside. Ojo can't power it up. Oh, Brandon Davies contests the second shot, but commits the foul. So Ojo's going to get the pass inside. He's going to establish a good base. Now, good offensive rebound by Ojo. A foul there by Brandon Davies. Oh, great camera work. Camera right there on the rim. Oh, Michael Ojo toes the line for our first free throws this evening. First EuroLeague season, played in the Euro Cup last year with Crvena Zvezda. From Lagos, Nigeria originally. Well, fans, remember, you can track all the live in-game stats on the EuroLeague website. It's all the W's.Euroleague.net. Just click on the link to tonight's game, and you can track the stats as you watch the images and listen to the sounds of the continent of Europe's premier basketball competition. Ojo with the miss. Offensive rebound by Simanic. Good defense inside by Abrines with the deflection. Higgins has to fan out to restart. Mirotic now with a size advantage over Simanic. Good defense by Simanic. Hunga lets fly with a deep three, no good. And Brandon Davies determined inside. Well, Brandon Davies got inside position on Michael Ojo and gets the stick back. So we're going to get our first break here as James Gist comes in. Players will get a quick blow as the subs make their way in. We're very close to our first intermission at the 5-minute mark. Good rhythm to this game. Brown strips Higgins. Hunga gets it back. Brown dives on the floor. Well, great effort by both sets of players. And some good defense by both teams. Now, of course, in the EuroLeague, we return basketball back to its roots. And he tied possessions now. We'll go to jump balls. Adam Hunga might have got away with a kick there. So it'll be Brown and Adam Hunga, I think. Referee will step into the circle. Brown rises. Got it to James Gist. Gist now wants to introduce himself to Brandon Davies. Gist steps through a double team, maybe too unselfish here. You know, Gist probably had a chance to score. Trying to get an intricate bounce pass to Davidovac. Perhaps just a little bit too unselfish. So at the midway mark of the opening stanza, the players will get to the bench and take a break and give us a pause here for intermission. Well, game center, Zenit St. Petersburg lost to Panathinaikos 79-89. Last week they won against Olympiacos, their first ever win in the EuroLeague. Tonight they lose to the other team from Athens. FS with a comfortable win. Can you believe that? 76-60 over Real Madrid. Big win for FS. Pesic barks out some orders to his team. So Barcelona with possession as we restart here after the intermission. Some pressure up the floor here from Crvena Zvezda. Just token pressure. Hanga assuming point guard duties with the injury to Kevin Pangos, Tomo Hurtel, and Pau Rivas, and Malcolm Delaney. Higgins, yeah, to carry. Yeah, great call by the trail referee. Higgins knows it. Might have carried it twice. Call by the referee. Davidovats here, gonna try and use the screen of Gist. Good defense by Higgins as he forces him to the sideline. You can see how Higgins trying to keep the ball close to the sideline. Don't get that ball reversed. Charles Jenkins kicks. Simonic has made one! Making two, strings it. Good form on the jump shot, Simonic. And Barcelona come right back. Gist. Gist gets called for the travel. He knows it. He just tried to turn and face quickly against Brandon Davies. You know, Brandon Davies walls up firmly. It's hard to move him. You're going to see now a little inside pivot. Yeah, probably picked up that left foot, the pivot foot, before he let the ball go. He's called for the travel. Now you can see how Crvena Zvezda are determined now to put Adam Hanga under pressure at the point. Good hands here by Charles Jenkins as he strips Brandon Davies. I think Brandon Davies might have got a finger in the eye. Let's see. Good reach there by Jenkins. And Davies and Gist fighting for it. Let's hope that he's okay. Still down on the floor is Brandon Davies. Of course, Davies played last season with Žalgiris. First year here with Barcelona, third season in the EuroLeague. It was an all-EuroLeague first-team selection with Žalgiris. It looks like it's an eye. I mean, you wonder, did he just catch a finger in the eye in the scrap for the ball? Ante Tomic is at the scorer's table, just there at the top of your screen. Looks like he's going to come in. For Davies because of the injury. Tomic will get to the bench, get some attention from the physio. We hope he can return. So Gist and Tomic will tip it off. Ante Tomic, who just stepped into the game, stands 2.17 meters. Timely substitution as he, first thing he'll do is get to the jump ball. And Gist, a little quick pass ahead from Brown, too short. Good idea by Crvena Zvezda, just poorly executed. Higgins moves laterally, his shot partially blocked. Mirotic on the floor. Lorenzo Brown commits the foul. This is the second foul on Brown. Both coaches now turning to their benches to get their rotations in. Kyle Courage is in. This is Filip Jovic. So Jovic comes in to replace Brown. Diminutive player. Jovic just stands 180. As Nikola Mirotic strokes that first free throw on his first trip to the line. Mirotic, a two-time EuroLeague rising star when he was a youngster back in 2011, 2012. Converts 1 of 2. So Jovic now at the point for the hosts. Jenkins slides a pass to Stratos Perperoglou, picks up the foul on Higgins, and I think Gist just having a word with Corey Higgins. Wonder what Gist said there, but he certainly got right up and close and personal. Now turning to the referee is Gist, so showing some leadership. Leandro Bolomaro steps in, the Italian. Again, it's Barca thin at the guard position in the absence of Pangos, Hurtel, Rivas, and Delaney. Jenkins, mid-range jumper. Just off the mark. Kyle Courage with his first touch. You know, Gist is doing exactly what you have to do to Ante Tomic. The first thing is get him away from the basket, get him out of that mid-post where he likes to operate. And then when he steps away from the basket, get up close on him. Mohamed Faye is going to step in. Senegalese international. Oh, good steal by Jenkins as he tries to pick the pocket of Kyle Courage. He does finally. His efforts are rewarded, and Jenkins lays it up and in. Well, Kyle Courage had his pocket picked not once but twice, and Jenkins emotes with the crowd. Well, Crvena Zvezda are in fighting mood here. It's still the opening quarter, and they smell blood in the water for a Barcelona team that are thin at the guard position. Jenkins with the steal and the scoop and score to finish the play, which brings a timeout from Coach Pesic. Well, we can see in the opening minutes that the ball pressure on the point, as we listen to Coach Pesic.
Focus on the game. Of course they played denied. Of course they played, of course they played denied, they pressed the ball, of course. Better screen, better timing. 5 down. 5 down. Press offense. Give and go. Press offense.
So the words there from Coach Pesic. He wants better screens, better timing, and that's exactly what you need. You know, when you've got somebody at point who's not necessarily accustomed to the position, he wants to get that ball out of his hands quick. So you've got to get a good screen to get open. You've got to get your timing right to make yourself available to that point guard. And once you make the entry pass, then you can get into the flow of the offense. Now, Olmaro. Good size advantage over Jovic, but Jovic doggedly pressing the basketball. Tomic, little handoff now to Olmaro. Wants to post up Tomic. There he is. He's in his office now in the mid-post. Loves to facilitate from here. He'll pass it, he'll move it. There it is. That's Ante Tomic. Absolutely at his best. But it looks like Abrines didn't get it out of his hands quickly enough. The referee waving off the basket. Going to look very quickly. The call on the floor is no basket. So we'll go straight to the video monitor to see if Abrines got it out of his hands quickly enough. This is classic Tomic. Tomic wants to release it. He finds a streaking Abrines. Wow. Great work by our officials and the camera crew. So just a split second too late. Can you believe it? It goes in the book as a turnover. So for Barca, it's their 4th turnover of the quarter. Bolmaro, long in defense, trying to pressure Jovic. There's Mohamed Faye. Finds Gist. Fake and stroke it, just missed it. He's another player with good length, but wants to face the basket, wants to pull the trigger on jump shots. That one just short. Charles Jenkins with the foul. So it's the 4th team foul on Crvena Zvezda. One more in there, the penalty. Just 2-1 Barcelona. As Pierre Oriola, number 18, will step in for Barca. So Abrines is the only starter on the floor for the visitors. Crvena Zvezda with a new 5 on the floor. Jenkins with great hands on Kuric. Perperoglu just late and getting into a good denial position. That's what Pesic was talking about. Of course they're going to play deny defense. If we watch here, you know, Perperoglu goes with the left hand and he catches Abrines. If he can get his body shape right, you know, coaches will talk about, can you go with that outside hand, go with the right hand and create some separation between you and the player you're guarding. But Abrines composes himself and toes the line. Abrines misses the first in his 6th EuroLeague season. Another player who won the EuroLeague Rising Star back in 2016. Spanish international. Just over a minute to play here in this opening quarter. So Bolmaro, 198's got a lot of length over Jovic here. It's just 180. Now, Perperoglu draws a double team from Tomic. Yeah, great defense by Barcelona. Tomic comes over to put a double on Perperoglu, causes the turnover. Kuric, stop and pop, got it. Good movement by Kyle Kuric to get his team to within a basket. Barca with some trapping defense. Jovic steps through the double. Perperoglu drives down the lane and lays it up and in left-handed. Positive play by Perperoglu. Jovic got away with a little tug. And Mohamed Faye with the deflection into the hands of Jovic. It's the 5th turnover against Barcelona. Jovic now wants to get the last shot here for Crvena Zvezda as we wind down the first quarter. And Bolmaro, heady play by the Argentine. He knows his team have got a foul to give. He commits it here, a little reach. And Barca showing good defensive discipline. Another foul to give here as they manage the final seconds of the first quarter. Jovic, let's fly with a deep 3, and it rims out. Well, Jovic had a clean look at it, but his attempt just off the mark. And so after 10 minutes of play here in Belgrade, Crvena Zvezda up 4 over Barcelona. Well, first quarter highlights in this round 4 contest between Crvena Zvezda, the host, and Barcelona. Simonic got it going with that mid-range jumper. Just exactly what these home fans needed to fuel their passion. Good execution by Barca. And at times, both of these teams sputtered. Michael Ojo with a strong flush there. Jenkins was terrific in this one, especially on the defensive end. Simonic with his 5 points, and here's Jenkins on cue with the steal and the finish as he picked the pocket of Kyle Courage. Good energy, good endeavor from Charles Jenkins. Down the bottom, both teams profligate with the ball. 7 turnovers for Crvena Zvezda, 6 for Barca. Coaches talk about, maybe putting 12 as a target in 40 minutes. We're halfway there in the opening 10 for each team. Mohamed Faye just chatting to Per Periglu. So there's coach Andrija Gavranovic, interim coach right now for Crvena Zvezda, replacing Milan Tomic. Gavranovic is from Barcelona originally, so his first head coaching assignment must be quite a thrill for him in the Euroleague as well. So first possession here to the home side. Jovic stays at the point. To start this fourth quarter, Crvena Zvezda come out with Gist, Faye, Jovic, Per Periglu, and a turnover. Bolmaro round the back, promptly gives it right back. 5th starter for Crvena Zvezda. Ogden Dobric with his first minutes. Bolmaro just shakes his head as he gave it right back to Crvena Zvezda. That's Ogden Dobric there. That is Filip Jovic. There's your 5. Devastating pick by James Gist. Gist is going to get called for the foul. And I've got some sympathy here for Gist. It is a hard pick, there's no doubt about this, but if Gist is planted, is he? It's very close. You hope Bolmaro's okay, but he's got a good firm screen. His feet are planted. Just talking to the French referee right now. Let's hope Bolmaro can recover it. He got it in the rib cage. Maybe, yeah, he's just high in the ribs, as you can see where he's signaling. I think his elbow got wedged between his own body and James Gist. It's not a dirty play by any means by Gist, just setting a pick in the backcourt to free up Jovic. And glad Leandro Bolmaro can pick himself up off the hardwood. Higgins steps back in. Now, he might be the option at point. Higgins is a kind of combination guard. He wants to play the 2 spot, but in the absence of Bertel and Pangloss, Rivas and Delaney, it might be the case of Corey Higgins to the rescue. In any event, the foul against James Gist, and possession here to the visitors. They start the second quarter with Tomic, Courage, Oriola, Abrines, and Higgins. As Kyle Courage rattles home that 3. Kyle Courage with Slovakian heritage, although he grew up in the United States. Per Periglu forced all the way to the 3-point line by Abrines. Per Periglu step back jump shot, no good. Tomic with the rebound, and this allows Higgins to push the tempo. Referee just having a word with Filip Jovic making sure he makes a basketball play. Oh, great move by Kyle Courage. Behind the back dribble to open up some space. And he got it. Well, another turnover here as Barcelona are all out of sorts. Inexcusable, really, to turn it over from a sideline out of bounds. Frustration foul here by Courage, who's responsible for the last turnover. So both teams trying to find a rhythm. Mirotic steps back into the game. Mohamed Faye breaks out. Tough pass to Gist behind the back to Perperoglu. Good ball fake by Dobric, and he drops the three. Well, Ognjen Dobric with a terrific ball fake to set up the shot. Dobric with his first points of the evening. Mohamed Faye right now really denying the ball to Mirotic. Courage from the elbow, no good. Right now, Filip Jovic is on Kyle Courage like a cheap suit, sticking close to him. Now Jovic guarded by Mirotic. There's got to be a mismatch on the floor somewhere. Perperoglu in and out. Mirotic says, I'm going to pull the trigger on this one. That's too strong. Higgins steps into a three, and that drops. Higgins runs over to Mirotic as if to say, listen, you let me bring the ball up, big fella. Higgins with the triple. And this, the previous possession from Ognjen Dobric. There's a tough call here on Corey Higgins. His second personal. Gist lets fly, strings it. James Gist, the delight here of the faithful fans. With his first basket of the night. Now Mirotic turns to face. Faye contests, loose ball. Scrappy play, Perperoglu comes out of it, and a lay it up and in on terrific defense by Crvena Zvezda, who are showing great temperament here and great attitude. Well, Crvena Zvezda have been nothing short of outstanding on defense. They're causing all kinds of havoc, deflections, loose balls, bodies on the deck, and Perperoglu seals off Higgins to lay it up and in. Well, Coach Pesic said this in his opening comments. He says, look, it's a tough place to play here against a team in Crvena Zvezda who know how to play basketball at a top level. And right now, the hosts up 6 against two-time champions Barcelona. Around the league, Maccabi Tel Aviv with a comfortable 15-point margin against Valencia. Valencia is still in search of their first win this season. In Moscow, another team with a revamped lineup, as you see the Latvian international Yanis Tima with 13. Timofey Mozgov back with the club. Jonas Yaremko also with Himki. Higgins across the midcourt stride. And I think this is probably the best option for Barca is Higgins at the point now trying to post up against Jovic. Mirotic now down in the low post. Can't get it. You know, Mohamed Faye's doing a terrific job defensively. He's contesting all shots. Denying passes. Good drive by Dobric, just wouldn't fall for him. Now Abrines, sideline break into Oriolo, skips a pass to Courage. Didn't quite have his feet set, Courage, to let fly. Higgins right down Main Street to lay it up and in. Well, Corey Higgins on the bounce, finds a seam with the left hand, and he'll go straight to the rack and lay it up and in. Jovic kicks, Perperoglu probes. The mid-range jumper finds some love from the rim. Now we've got some rhythm in this one. Crvena Zvezda keep that 2-possession lead. Higgins, shot over Gist, rattles in and out. Long pass ahead, Gist catches it. But that's a tiptoe along the end line and loses possession. A silly foul here from Dobric. You know, he wants to stop the break. Maybe he's trying to give Gist a chance to get back into play. There's no reason why he can't break down and defend, but he'll commit the foul. And this, Ognjen Kuzmic, who gets a rapturous applause as he comes into the game here. Kuzmic. That shot off the mark. Davidovac back in the game for Crvena Zvezda, rises in a sea of blue jerseys and gets the shot to go. We've got a foul off the ball. See if we can pick it up again here on an instant replay. Courage doesn't agree. Second foul on the American. I think that horn's going to sound for Courage to come on out. No, it's Brandon Davies who's going to step in. So good to see Davies has recovered from his injury. Kuzmic in the short corner, inside out play with extra pass to Mohamed Faye. Had a long time to think about it, maybe too much time. Good hustle play by Ognjen Dobric. Kuzmic trying to get a seal on Davies. Very static here from Crvena Zvezda. Kovic drops a pass inside to Kuzmic, who lays it up and in. Well, great pass by Jovic to pick out Ognjen Kuzmic. But it's all about this hustle play here from Dobric. Look at the diving save by Dobric. Hanga skips a pass to Higgins. No good. Crvena Zvezda doing a great job looking after their defensive rebounds. That long three, no good. Dobric with another hustle play. Ognjen Dobric with another offensive rebound. Davidovac, that's too strong. Mirotic wants a touch in the mid post now. Abrines clears out, lets him go to work. You can see Mirotic, not yet the finished article inside. This is the foul on Abrinas. He is a classic 4. Classic post player. Of course, he wears 33 on his jersey, but we're talking about the number 4 position, which is a forward. And he wants to face the basket. He wants to shoot. He's not necessarily a back-to-the-basket player as Abrinas steps out. And Roland Smits comes in for Barca. He'll provide a bit of length and size. Branko Lazic flashes back to the ball. Here's Jenkins. Crvena Zvezda have a new backcourt. Jenkins weaving against Adam Hanga. Mohamed Faye lets fly with a 3, and he finally finds the bottom. And can you believe now, Crvena Zvezda with a 13-point lead here at home. Hanga drives. His pass intercepted by Faye. Faye with a 3-on-3. Jenkins, oh, he thought about it. Now he will pull the trigger, and it's off the mark. Well, still plenty of time here for Barcelona to get back in this game. Mirotic, that's where he's at his best. That's it. Nikola Mirotic points to the rafters. Some relief there from the Montenegrin. That's his game. Horn set by Crvena Zvezda. Davidovacos, pass intended for Kuzmic, stolen by Davies. Davies to Mirotic, who glides to the basket and lays it up and in. Brandon Davies showing some point guard skills as the momentum swings to the side of Barcelona. Basketball, a game of runs, and Barca clawing themselves back in this one as Brandon Davies gives it to Mirotic for the transition basket.
Hey, okay, still 3 fouls. You can Mirotic. You can imaš 10. Hey, man, I don't know what to play. Yeah. Neki point guard. Okay. Play. Normal comes up. Here. Cut. That is 5, 4. Neki. Here. To attack. Go to roll. Okay. Sit. Okay. Stop the passing. One more foul.
Speaking of fouls, that one there from Lorenzo Brown, his second, which is keeping him rooted to the bench. You heard the words there of Coach Gavranovic. Stop the fast break. You know, coaches hate to concede fast break layups. Let's hope that Bomaro can recover from that hard pick by James Gist. And Gavranovic just giving some offensive instructions here. He's calling his horns half-court play, but Barca extending some pressure. They've been showing this throughout the game, and it pays dividends. Well, great press by Barca as Roland Smits denies Jenkins. End line ball here for Barca. They try to keep their momentum going. Davies flashes, touch pass inside to Mirotic, who lays it up and in. Excellent execution on the high-low by Davies and Mirotic. So the two bigs now combine again. This time a little traditional style rather than the fast break. Michael Ojo in the game. Roland Smits called for a foul. He's going to try and hold on to Michael Ojo, prevented from getting to the basket. His first, and the team's 5th. So, Davidovac will step to the line. Dejan Davidovac, second EuroLeague season. He's represented Serbia at the under-20 level. Yet to carve out a place in the senior national team. Makes both free throws. Just over a minute to 30 to play here in the first half of this round 4 contest between Barca and Crvena Zvezda. Smits. Right-handed jump hook, won't fall. Good transition defense by Barca. Look at Mirotic extending onto the ball. Davidovac runs into Brandon Davies. And Brandon Davies with the block shot. End line ball here for Crvena Zvezda. Jenkins between the circles. Mirotic gets called for the foul. This will send Crvena Zvezda to the line again. Simanic just checking the foot quickness of Mirotic. Started brightly today. Borisa Simanic. 5 points in the first quarter. Young lady getting a break from the cheering, as all the fans are, as the players go to the line. Get a chance to catch their breath. I assure you, they are working as hard as the players tonight to play their bit and trying to get an upset win here at home. Good press break by Barca. Kuric lets fly. Kyle Kuric, good catch and release. Shot too strong, and Smits gathers the rebound. Less than a minute to play here in the first half. Davies hangs on to it, gets in the lane, and wills it up and in. Oh, Brandon Davies! What a terrific move here. Davies on the bounce. He's going to go right-handed. He'll hang in the air, and look at the concentration of Brandon Davies as he draws the foul here on Michael Ojo. Michael Ojo doesn't do a lot wrong, but we'll get a timeout here as we wind down the first half. When we come back, it'll be Brandon Davies at the line to get an old school three-point play. Well, the instructions there from the Crvena Zvezda bench as we get a look at some of the stats in this one. Mirotic with 12. Mirotic also doing a bit of dirty work on the backboard for his club. Young lady looks very elegant tonight. Red on her, supporting the club, nor blue or red, so See who she's getting behind. Well, Davies has a chance now to tack on the N1. 32 seconds left. Crvena Zvezda will look to extend their lead. Davies in all Euroleague first team selection last year with Žalgiris. Nets the free throw, brings his club back to within 6. They have trailed by as many as 13. Brown back in the game for Crvena Zvezda. Tries to slip through 2 defenders. The ball last off the foot of Michael Ojo, and it's just a critical turnover for Crvena Zvezda. It is the 13th turnover here at halftime. Most coaches would be looking for that total at the end of the game. So Brown will step out with the 2 fouls, and Jenkins comes in. He's been terrific on defense, has Charles Jenkins. But Barca with a chance now to get the last possession. Let's see if they can set up a 1-possession game to come out here and start the second half. Branko Lazic guarding Adam Hanga. Hanga, let's fly with the 3! Oh, as pure as you like, Adam Hanga right at the death of the first half. And might that be a sign of things to come, as Barcelona, who found themselves down by as many as 13 points in this first half, on the back of that 3 there, will go into the changing rooms down by just 3. Well, fans, stay with us as we get some halftime interviews. We hope to get Nikola Mirotic before he goes into the changing room, get his thoughts on tonight's first half.
Nikola, Red Star played great in defense, but you scored very important points in second quarter.
I mean, we knew it was going to be a very tight game against Red Star, especially playing here in Belgrade, but I think we played great second quarter. They're playing very aggressive, denying every time. So this team, we knew it's going to be very physical, but we need just to keep playing. Try to stop them in transition and play our offense, share the ball, and enjoy the game.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Stratos, you played with great energy, you fought for every ball. Can you keep up like that?
Yeah, I think overall we did a good job. Some small details against a team like Barcelona. We can now relax, but I think overall we're good and we have to keep the same intensity for the second half.
Thank you very much.
The thoughts there of Nikola Mirotic, who's right. His team were much better in the second quarter, 21 points as opposed to 12 in the first. Also crediting Crvena Zvezda with some physical play, and you can see the lines on tonight's top scorers so far.
Turkish Airlines, 7 days, Adidas, Spalding, and Enios, official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines Euroleague.
Half highlights in this round 4 contest between the hosts Crvena Zvezda and the visitors Barcelona. Borisa Simonic got it going with a jump shot, and you can see some good execution here by Barcelona, who at times in this match trailed by 13 points, but all credit, they clawed themselves back in. It's a Barcelona team who come here to Belgrade with some notable injuries. They don't have a true point guard with them. Kyle Kuric at times had to play the point here. He gets dispossessed by Charles Jenkins, who's been fabulous on defense. But Kuric gets his own back with that nifty action to knock down a 3. Good ball fake here by Ognan Dobric, who knocks down a 3, but he does even more in terms of hustle plays to keep his team in this game. There an assist from Dobric by the veteran James Gist, who signals the 3. And Mirotic, yeah, struggled when he went into the low post. Great hustle here. You can see what it means to Crvena Zvezda as they scrap for every loose ball. But Mirotic was much better when he stepped away from the basket, much to the urging of those fans there who said, Nikola, shoot it from downtown. Good transition here from Barca. as Mirotic lays it up and in off the pass from Brandon Davies. Crvena Zvezda up 3 here at halftime and leading in most categories, unfortunately with 13 turnovers so far. Well, fans, it's time to take a look at the best of the action from last week's games. We start the roundup in Moscow, where CSKA got up to a flyer in the Leningradka derby against Khimki. New man Mike James contributed 18 points and 3 assists, and that was just in the first quarter. Former Alfonso Ford Trophy winner Alexei Shved did his best to keep Khimki in touch. Here, he turned provider for Devin Booker, who posted 18 points of his own. But it was the reigning Alfonso Ford Trophy winners' night with a fadeaway J. James sealed a 3rd win in a row for the champions. In search of their first win of the season, Žalgiris turned to new man Nigel Hayes, who welcomed a 2-0 Real Madrid team to Kaunas with a bit of string. Anthony Randolph rallied Real as Los Blancos took a 3-point lead into the 4th. But Žalgiris star performer Zach Leday brought the Lithuanians home. The American scored 26 points off the bench, a standout performance in an inspirational win. Playing catch-up after a nightmare start to the season, Fenerbahce were in determined mood against Baskonia. Derek Williams stepped into a 3-ball at the end of the first frame to put Fener in front in Istanbul. Nando De Colo and Achille Polonara traded buckets as the only scorers in the first 5 minutes of the second quarter. Polonara rattled home this 3 to give the visitors a 29-26 advantage. But that's when De Colo went solo, scoring freely and frequently. The 2016 MVP netted a career-high 39 points, just 2 points shy of the all-time Euroleague single-game record. It was the first win for Fener. In pursuit of their first win, Maccabi welcomed a Crvena Zvezda club to Tel Aviv. The Israelis were unstoppable in the opening stages. Omri Caspi put on a master class, registering 15 points and 8 rebounds. In the 4th, Zvezda launched a mighty comeback. Ognan Dobrić brought the Reds to within a single point before the Serbians could force overtime. In the end, the game belonged to the hosts. Scotty Wilbekin scored 8 of his 16 points in the extra period to secure the first home win of the season for Maccabi. In Bavaria, Bayern Munich took on upstart newcomers Asvel Villeurbanne. Mount Adolo showed a stop and go and notched a blistering 19 points in just 16 minutes. On the night, Bayern were in the mood. Nihat Djedovic once again at his creative best. Hurled an assist forward to Vladimir Lucic. With 2 wins in 3, Bayern's season is nicely on track. In Athens, Panathinaikos went head-to-head with Olimpia Milano. The New League Italians were hungry for their first win on the road, so Luis Scola fed their hopes from downtown. In a tight game, the consistently outstanding Nick Kalaitis tied things up at halftime with a dramatic step-back 3. Vladimir Mitsov was Milan's standout performer on the night. The Serbian rained down 3s to notch 18 points, and the Little Red Shoes ran out of the Waka with a road win. On the hunt for their first ever EuroLeague win, Zenit St. Petersburg visited Piraeus, the home of 3-time champions Olympiacos. Vladislav Turushkin nailed a buzzer beater to put the Russians ahead at the end of the first quarter. With Olympiacos down by 3 in the waning seconds of the game, Kostas Papanikolaou nailed a big triple to force overtime. But Zenit didn't panic. Great defense, including this huge block from Mateusz Ponitka, was enough to keep the Greeks at bay. It was an historic win in the EuroLeague for the Russians. In Spain, a perfect Barcelona hosted Alba Berlin. Tied in the first, the 2 teams traded blows until Brandon Davies gave Tim Schneider a knockout blow of his own. Barca's red-hot new arrival Corey Higgins was in fuego. The American had time to drain 11 points in 7 minutes and then say hola to a hometown fan. With the game in the balance, Nikola Mirotic stepped up to register 9 points in a 22-4 run. Barcelona posted over 100 points in another convincing home win. And finally, in Istanbul, Anadolu Efes met a Valencia basket side still in search of its first win of the season. Bojan Dubljevic matched his EuroLeague record of 22 points to get things started for the Orange. The Turks stepped up in the third quarter with a perfect streak of 10 for 10 shooting from inside the arc. The standout performer, Vasilija Micic, featured in 23 of his team's first 27 points after the break. Valencia mounted a comeback in the fourth, but it wasn't enough. FS held on for their second victory of the season, leaving Valencia as the only team yet to register a win in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. Well, that was the roundup. Now, the top 10 plays of the round.
Kevin Punter. Great block by Panika. A terrific block. Great athleticism here by Panika. Kaletis with a long pass ahead to Thomas, who flushes. Great fast break basketball from Pana. Thomas sticks his armpits in the rim, but an easy two for Pana.
Grigonis on the left-hand dribble drive, trying to split a couple of defenders, dishes it back, and Ledej throws it down. And Žalgiris Zach attack from Ledej.
So Deverioglu helping out. What a rejection! Ahmed Deverioglu pinning the layup attempt of Michael Eric to the glass.
Djedovic, long pass to Lucic, and it's home. Mija Djedovic saw the court perfectly, perfect vision for an easy two-pointer here.
Schmidt. Oh, what a pass and what a flush. Oh my goodness, Devin Booker with the high wire axe at the back end. But what a beautiful pass that was from Alexei Schmidt.
They've got another steal here. Great work by Giedraitis. Schneider. Oh, what a block. What a block by Brandon Davies. He would not give up on that play.
3-on-1 opportunity. DeColo back to Vesely. And it is showtime here at the Alka Sport and Event Hall. Nando DeColo fed Jan Vesely for the transition flush.
Walker hangs it up high. Oh my word! Jock Landale. Somebody get the medic for the rim.
Rodriguez in the open court. Rodriguez! Oh, Dino Mizolo! Just don't bring that in here! Rise to Wiley! Oh, Bob! Panathinaikos! Oh, what scintillating action. It's a block by Dino Mizolo on this end. The long pass ahead to Rice, who sends it up to Wiley.
Turkish Airlines. 7 days. Adidas. Spalding. And Enios. Official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Well, fans, welcome back to live images here in Belgrade. A quick look at Game Center. Maccabi Tel Aviv heaping misery on Valencia, who still look for their first win. We go courtside for a couple of interviews.
Coach, defense was the key in first half. What is the game plan in the rest of the game?
Well, we are not changing our game plan. We understand that we have one overall problem, it is turnovers, and the other problem was different energy in last 4 minutes in the second half. So this is something that we don't want to repeat, and the game plan it's remaining the same.
Thank you, best of luck.
Yeah, turnover is certainly a talking point for Coach Gavrilovic. His club at halftime with 13 turnovers, but he can be pleased with his team's defensive effort. He's certainly in position to win this game. That's all you can hope for really coming out of the halftime changing room. We'll hope to get Coach Pesic with his thoughts on his return to a club that he used to coach. Here's a look at the shot for Crvena Zvezda. Remember, the X's are misses, so just 4 of 12 from behind the arc. And I'm told that we've got a chance to talk to Coach Pesic, so we'll see what he has to say in advance of tonight's second half. Referees are back on the floor, and the fans have had a chance to take a break as we talk to Coach Pesic.
Coach, slower start of the game, but you scored very important points and situation has changed in second quarter.
We have the problem with aggressiveness from Red Star. They play very good defense. We made 11 turnovers. With 11 turnovers, we have very good score and very good position. We improved in last two minutes, but the game is open.
Yeah, still very much an open game. This game is in the balance. Look at Coach Pesic working the referees on the sideline. And, you know, I want to pat Crvena Zvezda on the back here. This is a Barcelona club who come into tonight's game 3-0, averaging 88 points per game. And Crvena Zvezda, through their aggressiveness, as Coach Pesic mentioned, have conceded just 33 points at halftime. And, you know, Barca, it's a tough place to play. As I mentioned in my opening comments, Fenerbahce have come here. You see the shot here for Barcelona. You know, Fenerbahce, who were in the Final Four last year, came to this arena in round 2 and came away with nothing. So Crvena Zvezda beat Fener 68-56, and that's the style of game that they want to play here. You know, low scoring, good hard defense. In round 1, they lost at Panathinaikos 87-82, so giving up 87 points. They lost last week in Tel Aviv to Maccabi 89-64. So it just shows you here at home, they've got a little something extra. And we must remind viewers, of course, that Barcelona playing without a true point guard. So, you know, Coach Pesic can be pleased with the fact his team are still in this game. Remember, they were down as many as 13, but they've got themselves within 1 possession. Well, if you were with us in the first half, welcome back. Welcome back to the Alexander Nikolic Hall here in the Serbian capital. If you're just joining us tonight, a very warm welcome to you. It's Crvena Zvezda in the white uniforms, and Barcelona in their classic blue and red. First possession here to the hosts. You can see how Barca start this half. Michael Ojo snaps a pass to Brown. Will step inside the arc and leave that shot short. So let's get the fives organized for you. Barca come out with Adam Hanga, Higgins, Davies, Miletic, and Abrines. And there's your 5 for Crvena Zvezda: Brown, Lazic, Davidovac, Simonic, and Michael Ojo. Same way both of these clubs started the game. Mirotic in space, and that just off the mark. Ojo sets the screen, dives down the lane, he's got a good seal. Oh, Michael Ojo in a sea of blue jerseys, just steps through, finds a little crease, and flushes. Good post play from the Nigerian. Simonic really fighting from position, down on the blocks with Mirotic. And this is where Mirotic struggles. You know, he's not the traditional back-to-the-basket player. It's the second or third time tonight we've seen him lose his footing. And Michael Ojo just called for an offensive foul, so it's another turnover against Crvena Zvezda. He's just pushing off to try and create space with Davies. Do we see it here? Just a high hand. Catches Brandon Davies. Brandon Davies just been in the trenches tonight. He had to go off in the first half with a finger in the eye. He's got a hand there across his teeth. Davies showing some guard skills against Michael Ojo. Ojo's taller. Davies stands 2'8". Ojo, a genuine 7-footer at 216. Davies just trying to use some quickness. Now Ojo trying to get the ball in the low post. Davidovac has a look. We've got a foul here. It's on Abrines. Alex Abrines just talking to his national team teammate and Mirotic. Both of them wear the colors of Spain. Brown weaving. Brown. Oh, scoop and score from Lorenzo Brown. Finger roll from the American. Picked up 2 fouls in the first half, so he had to sit through large stretches. He's back in the game now guarding Corey Higgins. He's just got to be smarter here. Brown's telling his teammates he didn't hear if there was a screen. Cannot mind if the referees let these kind of contacts go, but they've been fairly consistent at calling them. Mirotic stripped by Branko Lazic. It's a 3-on-3 here for Crvena Zvezda. Another turnover for Barca. On a good bit of defense here. Brown! Brown! Oh, Lorenzo Brown slashes to the basket. Some nifty ball handling here from the American. Finds a little crease, rocks the cradle, and lays it up and in. Oh, terrific action here by Lorenzo Brown, who brings a timeout from Coach Pesic. As we have a listen in the Barcelona huddle.
A foul! How many fouls you get? Make the foul!
Well, here's a look at Nikola Mirotic's contribution to tonight's game. And that's where he's at his best. If he can face the basket, get a clean look, he points to the rafters. Good pass by Adam Hanga to set up the shot. That is Nikola Mirotic when he is doing his thing here. He's running the floor well. He's got good mobility as a long player. Where he struggles is down in the low post. You can see he's got 12 points and an assist. Just 1 of 5 from behind the arc. We can certainly stroke it. Mirotic on his return to the Euroleague. He's having a promising campaign. With 3 games, Mirotic averaging 19.7 points per game. Welcome back to the Euroleague. Welcome to Barcelona. Of course, he played several seasons, 6 seasons with Real Madrid. Now, Adam Hanga, dogged by Branko Lazic. Pocket pass to Davies, who's fouled on his way to the basket. What a terrific pass here by Corey Higgins. He's gonna throw a skip pass now. Is it on Brown? It is. Oh, that spells trouble. It might be the 4th on Lorenzo Brown. It is, and you know, he just needs to walk away from Brandon Davies in that situation and let him lay it up and in, because Brown was so influential on offense. He'll have to come out now, and we won't see him again in the 3rd quarter. Davies toes the line. Brandon Davies, it's his 2nd trip to the line tonight. He tacked on an and 1 in the first half, so he's 1 of 2. Make it 2 of 3. So just looking at Brown's contribution as he now is rooted to the bench, he's got 6 points, 3 turnovers and 4 fouls. So Jovic takes over point guard duties for Crvena Zvezda. Branko Lazic flashes back to the ball. The shot short. And Borisa Simonic is going to get called for a push. As he fought for an offensive rebound. Adam Hanga doing commendably at the point, trying to start the offense for Barca. Mirotic with a mismatch on Lazic. Adam Hanga, show and go, kicks. Davies, mid-range jumper, old school! Oh, Brandon Davies off the window! Brandon Davies like he's sticking a postage stamp on an envelope with the bank shot. Hanger gets called for the foul here, just a little bit over physical as he's contesting with Davidovac. Davidovac looking for some help from the referee. So Gist steps into the game. James Gist. 3 points on a three-pointer, 1 foul. Charles Jenkins has been sensational on defense. Good to see the wide eyes of the youngsters here Thursday night in the Euroleague. He'll be telling his friends tomorrow in school. He saw the big boys play. Speaking of big boys, here goes Mirotic. Yeah, I love this on Mirotic. Just trying to use a space dribble to impose himself on Simanic. The foul is before. Watch this, he's gonna sweep underneath. And then there's the space dribble, bang. There's the contact. And you can see the hands of Simanic. He's got his hands wrapped around. So Mirotic goes to the line. He'll throw it twice, but he's a much more difficult proposition to play against when he can face the basket. He's fleet of foot for his length, and he's highly skilled. Mirotic, 2'8". Just adds to his individual points total now at the line. The Montenegrin converts 1 of 2. Jovic into the trap, turned it over. Mirotic with the loose ball and glides to the basket, lays it up and in. So good defense by Barca. You know, Barca trying to win a game on the road without a true point guard. Gist in the high post to Simanic, who lays it up and in. So Simanic with a basket cut on the baseline. Off the feed from Gist. Now he's going to dig in and defend. Mirotic, that shot's no good. Jenkins speeds to the loose ball. Hunger now picks up 2 fouls. The Hungarian tries to move his feet. So good vision here by Gist. That's a rehearsed play. That's a scripted play. Gist knows if he looks to the baseline, there will be a streaker. The young fella enjoying the atmosphere here as Mohamed Faye steps in. So just 1 possession in it, 44-41. Davidovac, the floater, no good. Faye can't keep it alive. Courage in space, got it! That is what Kyle Courage does. He spots up and he knocks down jump shots. So good feed by Corey Higgins. And we're knotted up at 44 each. Just over 4 to play here in the 3rd quarter. You can see now Barcelona taking a leaf under Crvena Zvezda's defensive book. Aggressive. Faye, no good. Barca with a chance to take a lead. They've trailed throughout most of the 2nd quarter. There it is. Having been down by as many as 13 points in the 2nd quarter in this contest, Barcelona have stuck at their task. And they've got themselves in front by 2 points on the back of this jump shot here from Mirotic. And Mirotic becoming increasingly more influential in this one. He wants the ball in his hands. And now with 19 points, as Barca lead by 2 here at the timeout.
Offensive rebound. Bonus. Very good one-on-one defense. Stand back. Okay. Play. Two side. Two side. Press. Okay. Coming. Okay. I'm going that side.
Another quick look around the league. So Himki with that win over Bayern, 87-74. Šved with 19. Monroe with 18 in a losing effort for Bayern. Devin Booker. Now if Himki get a chance to play against his former club, Bayern. So Stratos Perperoglu steps in for Crvena Zvezda. End-line ball here for the home team. Find themselves down by 2 points after a long stretch in front. Higgins guarding Jovic closely. Here comes the trap from Davies. Corey Higgins gets called for a hand check. This is the one thing when you play aggressive defense, when you get into half-court traps, you're more inclined to pick up fouls. For Higgins, it's his third. We'll see if Coach Pesic stays with him or takes him out to try and save fouls. Great to see Bolmaro back in the game, recovering from that collision with James Gist. Speaking of Gist, Gist had a chance to attack the rim, settled for the jump shot, comes away with nothing. Davies tries his hand and shows James Gist just how to stroke it from the free throw line. Kurtz really digging in to defend Perperoglu. Oh, Fai pushes it on one pass to Jenkins. Shot no good. Mohamed Faye with the rebound. And Brandon Davies with sterling defensive effort here. So Faye with the rebound and Davies with a block. You can see what Bolmaro thinks about that. Gist, yeah, spins on Brandon Davies, who gets called for the foul. He'll be upset with James Gist that he doesn't finish this play. He's gonna roll Brandon Davies here on his left hand. There's the reach. Gist will be annoyed that he didn't lay that up and in. James Gist in his first season with Crvena Zvezda, of course, had terrific years with Panathinaikos. His 11th Euroleague season, over 200 games and 2,000 points. He'll know this arena well from his days with Partizan back in 2010, 2011. The last 6 years he's been in Panathinaikos. So Bolmaro between the circles, starts the offense for Barca. Davies with a backdoor cut. And we've got to be careful here. Is Mohamed Faye going to get called for an unsportsmanlike foul? Well, Davies is going to take his defender to the three-point line and spin. He'll go back door, and Mohamed Faye comes from the help side. You can see Faye. Yeah, I think the referee's going to want to look at this. Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is a tough one for me. So Faye comes over from the help side. He's late. He's going to come across the arms here of Brandon Davies.
After camera, normal speed. Just one before.
And I'm not sure how they're going to rule this. This is a tough one.
Normal speed.
again here. The referees wanted that normal speed.
Normal speed.
To be fair
Go back.
to Mohamed Faye,
We'll check the normal speed.
he's going to try to assist Davies to the ground here when he makes the foul.
Now, slow motion.
The referee's going to confirm. Yeah, unsportsmanlike foul on Mohamed Faye, and you can see why the referees will judge it that way. There's no doubt that Faye wants to come over and prevent the layup as he rotates from the help side. To be fair to him, you know, after he makes the foul, he's trying to gather Brandon Davies from hitting the floor too hard, but I think the referees have probably got this right. Mohamed Faye may not. But in a close game like this, these kinds of plays are pivotal. Davies nets both free throws, and now Barca will retain possession after the unsportsmanlike foul. So they lead by 5, a chance to extend that lead here on the sideline out of bounds. Mirotic. Faye walls up. Mirotic, a little bang and a bump, and that's too strong. Brandon Davies with some good transition defense to stop the ball. Jovic trying to find space. Perperoglu from the corner. Off the mark. And Higgins with a slow sideline approach. Charles Jenkins again with a steal. Can he finish in transition? Well, they'll draw the foul on Brandon Davies. And Jenkins has been so active defensively. Deflections, steals, picking pockets on dribbles. Yeah, there's not a lot in that for Brandon Davies. Just the faintest of touches with the elbow. Of course, we have the beauty of instant replay. I must admit, to the naked eye, it looked like a foul, but with that view, you wonder. Chance for Jenkins to try to claw back some of these points. Charles Jenkins in his 3rd stint with the club. Started back in 2013 to 2015 for 2 seasons, and went to Olimpia Milano. 16 to 17, he came back to Crvena Zvezda for Euroleague season. Last year was in the Euro Cup. I think I'm right in saying that he has naturalized now, has Jenkins, as a Serbian, having spent enough time here. Jenkins misses the first, and the second, which he missed, the French referee had blown his whistle to address something. Jenkins is happy he did, so he makes 1 of 2. Ante Tomic in the game for Barcelona. Didn't play much in the first half. Bonamaro trying to find, look at how Courage is working to try to get rid of Perperoglu. Bonamaro, his shot from the elbow, no good. That's just terrific defense from Crvena Zvezda. They deny the ball to Kyle Courage. They switch on screens, and they force Bonamaro to take a shot that perhaps he doesn't want. That's last touch by Charles Jenkins. Will the referees review it? They won't. You see the battle of the boards there. Perperoglu off a screen, uses his body to seal off Courage, slides a bounce pass to Gist, who goes to work in the low post. It's no good. Will the basket count? Well, the shot off the mark by Gist. Mohamed Faye is going to fly through the air and tip it in. We've got a whistle. Does the basket count, and who's the foul on? So the basket is going to count. Mohamed Faye's tip-in is good. I'm still sorting out who the foul's on. I'd like to see this again because it looks like a Barcelona player is moved out of the way, and he might have had influence on whether or not Mohamed Faye could get to the backboard. So it's Perperoglu who commits the foul, and I think the foul might even be before the tip-in. So the foul you can hear from the referee.
Bouncing offensive, and I want to see who was pushed
Perperoglu.
by number 5, by number Perperoglu.
With the push. See if we can see it here. So Perperoglu there is with the push. There's the foul. I don't think that basket can count because the foul happens before the tip-in. Courage says, yeah, you got the right guy. I'm the one who got fouled, but I think the referees need to go back and look at that. Courage with the free throw. I'd like to see that instant replay again. Of course, we're relying on the producers, and we may not get a chance, but Courage doing what he's got to do. Makes both free throws. Well, you hope this game isn't decided by 2 points. Either way, Barca stay in the press. They lead by 4 here. Just over a minute to play in the third quarter. Gist has to come all the way to the three-point line to get the ball, trying to get it back to Jovic. It's stolen by Bomaro. Pass ahead to Smits! Roland Smits with a thunder dunk! Oh, Roland Smits picks up the pass from Bomaro and puts down the hammer. Gist is fouled here by Tomic. Let's see this dunk again from Roland Smits. Goodness me. We're going to see the foul here by Tomic on the drive by Gist. But that might be a candidate for a magic moment, as Roland Smits is in the house. His hand hurts. Oh my goodness. The Latvian with an authoritative dunk. Gist 1 of 2. And Smits with the rebound. Hanga across the midcourt stripe. 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Good rhythm to this one. Courage steps back, lets fly. And he got the shooter's roll. Kyle Courage over James Gist. Got the bounce. And Barca lead by 8 after having trailed by as many as 13 in the second quarter. What a game of runs. Jenkins snaps a pass to Dobric, gets it back. Shot clock and game clock at 8. Jovic, that's no good. Probably a little bit early. Adam Hanga's gonna let fly. The half-court shot's on the way, and just off the mark. Well, all credit to Barcelona, who've been outstanding in the third quarter after a slowish start. But they come out, and Roland Smits with the Statue of Liberty dunk. Well, fans will see this step-back 3 by Kyle Courage. He gets all the love from the rim. Here's your score at the end of 3. Crvena Zvezda 49, Barcelona 57. Well, third quarter highlights. This quarter thoroughly and completely dominated by Barcelona. Crvena Zvezda started well. They forced a timeout from Coach Pesic. And then Barca came back and really, with the defense, got themselves ahead in this game. It's the defense of Barca that's causing havoc and has led to a slew of turnovers. Crvena Zvezda with 17 turnovers. And I want to see that play again. Bomaro, watch this bounce pass, and Smits is in the house. Roland Smits, he doesn't even acknowledge the pass. Courage. Nifty work here from the American. And Barca up 8 here on the road. So Barca now will get the ball to start the fourth quarter. With the new rule, remember, whoever wins the opening tip, whoever gets the first possession after the opening tip, will get the first possession in the fourth quarter. So Barca break huddle with Bomaro, Hanga, Tomic, Smits, and Courage. Same way they finished the third. Nice pass to Tomic. A nice touch by the Croatian. It's been quiet tonight, Ante Tomic. Just 6 minutes of play. That's his first basket. Here's your 5 for Barca. Crvena Zvezda come out with Lorenzo Brown, Charles Jenkins, Michael Ojo, Mohamed Faye, and Ognjen Dobrich. Left-handed layup attempt by Brown. Off the mark. Hanga now. He's got Ojo out of the perimeter. He's got to go at him with the dribble. Bomaro spots up on the three-point line, no good. Tomic! Well, Tomic picks up the miss and lays it up and in. Back-to-back baskets from Tomic on consecutive possessions. Brown, he's weaving his way to the basket, just can't finish. The penetration from Brown is good, but can't finish around the rim. Barca now look to turn the screws a little bit. Bomaro met at the backboard by Mohamed Faye. Faye pins it. Dobrich, the left-handed shooter, no good. Unfortunately, I think Michael Ojo is going to get called for a foul here. Yeah, just incidental contact here by Ojo. Clips the head of Adam Hanga. Hunga's looking for the license plate of the truck that hit him now. Watch Mohamed Faye. Pins it. That's a highlight that Leandro Bomaro will not want to see tomorrow. Pass intended for Smits, kicked by Dobrich. So Barca will retain possession. They've got a comfortable 12-point lead. They want to build on that now. So remember, Zvezda fans, this team can explode the backing of this crowd. Smits knocks down a 3. Well, that hand is feeling good after the dunk. Big basket by Smits. Baseline referee just cleaning up some inside action between Tomic and Michael Ojo. I see Tomic call for the foul here. Yeah, just trying to fight to get in front. Dobrich slashes to the basket, lays it up and in. That's a big basket for Crvena Zvezda, who struggled to score in the third quarter. Higgins exchanges with Tomic. Courage throws it up to Tomic, and his shot blocked by Mohamed Faye. Well, it's unfortunate here as the shot clock goes off, but the question I have is, did the ball touch out of bounds before the shot clock went off? The referees seem confident. So good stop by Crvena Zvezda. Seems to claw themselves back in this, trailing by 13. Brown again, gets deep. Ojo doesn't really look to shoot that mid-range jumper. Roland Smith's doing a bit of everything. Just under 4 seconds to get a shot off here. Great execution of the sideline out of bounds. Dobrich with an open look, just couldn't knock it down. Courage. That's too strong. Kyle Courage, 3 of 5 from behind the rainbow. So Higgins with the foul. Now that might spell a bit of trouble here. Fouls on Corey Higgins. Remains in the game. Brown's pass finds Davidovets. So Higgins with 4 fouls remains in the game. That's a tough pass from Ojo. But Dobrich somehow picks up the loose ball and lays it up and in. So Corey Higgins with 4 fouls remains in the game for Barca. So Mirotic will step back in. What's the delight of the Barca fans here in the Alexander Nikolic Hall. I'm still waiting for the attendance to be confirmed. Hanga will get a chance to go to the line here on this foul from Ognjen Dobrich. Dobrich just trying to get around the pick of Tomic. Yeah, there's a bump. No doubt about that. Adam Hanga has the presence of mind to hear the whistle and put the ball up on the backboard. So from the line tonight, Barcelona 9 of 14, 68%. 10 of 15. Which is 67%. Brown. Got an offensive foul here. I think it's on Ojo. Yeah, Ojo sets the pick and then dives to the basket. He gets tangled up with a Barca player. Called for the foul. There's the pick. He's trying to get to the basket, and I think that's a tough call, actually. Higgins, inside out play with Adam Hanga. Hanga looks at the shot clock. Deep three, no good. Now, can Crvena Zvezda come away with some points here, this possession? Time becoming important, 5 minutes. Gist snaps a pass to Davidovets, who lays it up and in. So, good pass by Gist, good recognition to Davidovets. And now, Crvena Zvezda have to get what I call a kill here. They need to get 3 stops as Mirotic gets called for the moving pick. 3 stops and then 3 scores. So there's 1 stop, and they turn it into points. It's something that a coach taught me somewhere along the line. Yeah, you can see the moving pick by Mirotic. And with the stoppage in play here, it'll give us an opportunity to bring you tonight's magic moment. What a play here as you see the score, 10 points in it. Crvena Zvezda trailing by 10 at home. Well, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this magic moment when we get a chance to get it up for you. It comes from nothing. Tonight's 7 days magic moment. Here's the steal by Bolmaro. He skips a bounce pass, and Roland Smits lowers the hammer. Watch this. Bolmaro with the bounce pass. Now, Smits has to pick the ball up at about 3 feet. It's a low pass, and then he goes up to 10 feet and sends it home. Skip pass by Bolmaro. A terrific pass, and then Smits, a la Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty dunk by the Latvian. And James Gist is looking for somewhere to duck for cover. Tonight's magic moment, 7 days from number 10, Roland Smits. He hasn't played many minutes, just 8 minutes of play, 5 points. But he can enjoy that with his teammates when he gets back to Barcelona, that's for sure. A kiss down the lane and lays it up and in. Higgins had to be soft defensively with those 4 fouls. As Gist acknowledges the pass. So Crvena Zvezda now need to dig in defensively. Brown trying to front in the low post against Davies. Now Davies finds Mirotic. His jump hook is no good. Mirotic with the offensive stick back, and he puts it up and in. Nikola Mirotic off the bench with his first basket of the 4th quarter. Mirotic now at 19. And now Mirotic with some defense deflects the ball out of the hands of Gist. Mirotic, just a little flick. And then last touch by James Gist. So 10 points in it. 4 to play. Davidovac. Well, Davidovac with a big steal. And for Corey Higgins, this will be adios. Higgins picks up his 5th foul. It is an unsportsmanlike foul. Oh, you can see Corey Higgins just wraps up the arm of Davidovac, so it's a perfect call by the referee, well spotted. And might this be a turning point in the game here? This gives Davidovac a chance to get to the line for 2 free throws, and then of course Crvena Zvezda will get possession, and Corey Higgins will step out with 5 fouls. The line on Higgins tonight, just 5 points. 1 of 4 from behind the arc. It's been a tough night for Higgins. And Davidovac misses the first free throw. You hear some groans here in the arena. So Mirotic will have to put his teammates on his back now, as will Brandon Davies in the last 4 minutes. See, next foul for each team will be the bonus. Brown picked up his dribble, gets it back from Gist. Shot clock running down. Dobric Off balance three on the way, and Brandon Davies with an authoritative rebound. For Brandon Davies, his 5th point of the night. And Adam Henga with the lay-in. And that horn you hear is a timeout from the Crvena Zvezda bench. And all credit to Barcelona. They're keeping the crowd at bay. Good pass over the top of the defense. As Henga lays it up and in, acknowledges the pass from Mirotic. And Barca now close to securing a victory on the road in Belgrade.
We need to pass the ball, to move it around the defense and attack the closeout on any situation. Don't stop it on the side. Pass and go for handoff, attack, swing from side to side. Side to side. Okay. Play. Two down. Two down. Change the angle, take it. Come out to attack. Again, quick pick and roll. Pass to the side, watch it. Right, more energy. Right, let's go, right?
Well, coming onto the timeout now, you know, Crvena Zvezda really need to dig in. Clock becoming noteworthy. As you get a look at Mirotic with his 19 points and 6 rebounds. He's right on his average in his return to the Euroleague. Zvezda just need a couple of stops, a couple of baskets. If they can get the crowd back in this game, it'll go a long way to aiding them. Now, can they get something out of this possession? Davidovic off a down screen. Now a ball screen from Gist. And Gist was wide open, but Brown just lost the ball. Basketball sometimes picks up beads of sweat. Brown just lost it as Abrines checks in for Barcelona. Adam Henga in no hurry. Clock is his ally. Shot clock now under 10. Hooks a pass to Davies, who skips a pass intended for Courage. Brown with the steal. Brown trying to make something happen. It's very static offensively for Crvena Zvezda. And Lorenzo Brown right now is got enough turnovers to open a bakery. Mirotic, Mirotic with a terrific up fake to send 2 Crvena Zvezda players going by. You wonder now, will Coach Gavrilovic substitute out Lorenzo Brown, who's had a difficult passage, but Mirotic gets to the halo. Little up fake, watches the jerseys go by. Mirotic with 21.
Don't turn off. Don't take it on you. When we move the ball, close out, shot, penetration to the rim. No, standing and passing the ball like that. Okay? Now. Always fist up, or one up, shot throw. Corner. Right. Let's go.
Well, Coach Gavrilovic talking about trying to get some penetration, keep the ball moving. His team has been static at times, and this is a worrying sign. If you are a Crvena Zvezda fan, look at that, the 3 top scorers wearing the colors of Barca. Mirotic with 21, Davies with 14, and Kyle Courage with 13. And all credit to Barca, who come to a difficult venue without a true point guard. And right now they are in a winning position. Now Brown stays on the floor with his 5 turnovers. The one thing he can do is penetrate, but he's got to make better decisions. And Crvena Zvezda now need urgency. They've got to work quickly on offense. They're going to get turnovers, deflections, steals on defense. And they need to do it all within 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So Barca up 13, matches their largest lead of the night. Kurich with a kick, so 14 seconds on the shot clock for Crvena Zvezda. Crvena Zvezda, their fans really trying to add something. Such a storied club, you know, renowned for developing young players in recent years. The Australian Jonah Bolden came through here, Luka Mitrovic, of course, Nemanja Bjelica, all of those three players playing in the States. Igor Rakocevic came through the ranks of this club. Now, just a difficult passage. This second half has been hard for them, been labored. They were terrific in the first half, but Barca just come out, keep their composure, show their class in the second half. Mirotic now lost it against Perperoglu. Defense by Perperoglu. And this has been another challenge for Crvena Zvezda. They're struggling to score. Well, they got 82 points at Panathinaikos in round 1. 2 weeks ago in round 2, 68 points here in the win over Fenerbahce. Last week, just 64 points in a loss at Maccabi Tel Aviv, as Mohamed Faye knocks down a 3. Mirotic. Mirotic lets fly with a quick 3. Not the best option for Barcelona. They want the seconds to go off the clock here. Davidovac with a rebound. Gist in space. Count it! Well, have we got a ball game here? 71-64. Coach Pesic wants a timeout. And right now, Crvena Zvezda go to the sideline with some belief. Well, Mirotic, in the previous possession, pulls the trigger on an early 3. And for all of his experience, just a mental error there. Crvena Zvezda dance troupe here entertaining the crowd. What's entertaining is you look at the fourth quarter score here, so you can see Barca really stamp their authority in this game in that third quarter. Crvena Zvezda, you know, 6 of those 15 points just came in the last 30 seconds. So for large passages of the second half, they've struggled to score, but they still have life. They've got the difference down to single digits. They're going to show some pressure up the floor. Hanga trying to break down Dobric. Now Barca look to be patient. Mirotic down in the low post. Stripped and stolen by Lorenzo Brown. Lorenzo Brown, is he going to go coast to coast? He can't. And the rebound into the hands of Ognjen Dobric. You know, I don't even know why Barcelona looked to get Mirotic touches inside. It's just not been great for him. You know, do you bring in Ante Tomic, who's more of a traditional post player, or Brandon Davies even? You can see Coach Pesic telling him to have strong hands, but it's not a role that Mirotic relishes. Now, Dobric got to make free throws here. There you go. chasing the game and the clock is stopped. You've got to get points on the board. Crvena Zvezda as a team, 8 for 15, just 53%. 9 for 16. Make a couple more free throws, and they're within a possession. Hanga now does Zvezda foul. Adam Hanga content to let some seconds go on the shot clock. This is a big possession. Hanga, who's been outstanding at the point tonight in a role he's not accustomed to. Last touch by James Gist. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Crvena Zvezda need to get a stop and a quick three. Abrines, that's no good. Long rebound into the hands of Abrines, and this will win it for Barcelona. Well, this one's in the books now. Crvena Zvezda have run out of time in their challenge. And Adam Hanga with the finger roll shot, no good! But Kyle Courage takes out the trash. Oh, Kyle Courage with a tremendous finish. Wait until you see the expression of Brandon Davies after this one as the coaches meet at midcourt. And Coach Pesic, who coached here in Crvena Zvezda on 2 separate occasions, returns home to his native Serbia and secures a win. But Kyle Courage finishes with a flourish. We'll hope to show you that again as we wrap this one up. For the time being, Barcelona win on the road here in Belgrade, having stamped their authority on this game in the 3rd quarter, winning it 24-13. Your final score tonight, Crvena Zvezda 65, Barcelona 73 in round 4 of the Euroleague. Well, fans, hang with us now as we wrap this one up with some interviews and some statistics. Brandon Davies and the Barca players paying tribute to the crowd tonight. Certainly in the first half were outstanding, but a lack of fluency, a lack of consistency from Crvena Zvezda really kept them at bay. All credit to Barcelona as we go courtside. Take a look at, we're going to chat to tonight's player of the game. The Adidas player of the game, Brandon Davies. We'll hope to grab Brandon before he goes into the changing room. And here's a look at some of his play tonight. A stick back here for his first basket. The line on Davies, 14 points, 6 rebounds. He's 5 of 7 from the field, showing he can knock down a mid-range jump shot. He's not just a offensive rebound merchant, although he does that well. Davies with 4 defensive rebounds, 2 offensive, both of them ending up with points. And Davies, who made the transfer from Žalgiris at the end of last season to Barcelona, gets his name as tonight's Adidas player of the game. There's his 14 points and 6 rebounds. And don't forget those 3 blocks. So doing it on both ends of the floor, both offensively and defensively. He's an American who is also a Ugandan. So our accommodations to Brandon Davies for his contribution tonight. We'll hope to grab him and get his thoughts on tonight's win as Barcelona rise to a perfect 4-0. They will remain at the head of the table after tonight's win. You can see the Red Star players paying tribute to their fans here. It is a club that is so faithfully supported. So our commiserations with Crvena Zvezda, who in the first half, played outstanding. They were down just 36-33 at halftime. But the 3rd quarter really put paid to their challenge tonight. I'm told we've just grabbed Brandon Davies courtside, so we'll have a chat with him and get his reflections on his contribution and his team's win tonight. The Crvena Zvezda players will head off into the changing room. Now, a chance to visit with Brandon Davies.
You decided everything tonight.
Yeah, we definitely played a lot better in the second half. We just tried to come out and you know, be the aggressor defensively. They're a good team. They fought us all game long, fought us for every loose ball, every rebound. So once we fixed things at halftime, things went better for us.
How do you feel? You have some problems with your eye. You got some hit.
Yeah, I mean it happens. Just got poked in the eye. It was hard to see for a little bit, but you know we have a good staff, a good doctor, so they got me patched up and back out there.
Are you satisfied with your shape? You have 4 victories in Euroleague.
Yeah, I mean we're definitely not satisfied, but you know we got to keep building. You know, and there's too many good teams to get complacent, so we got to keep pushing, keep getting better.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
The thoughts there of tonight's player of the game, Brandon Davies. Well, the doctor certainly patched him up and sent him back out onto the floor. He had some dead eyes shooting to Davies. As I mentioned, 5 of 7 from the floor for his 14 points. And now tonight's top scorer, Nikola Mirotic.
Nikola, congratulations. How do you feel after this game? How was it difficult tonight in Belgrade?
Well, I feel exhausted, to be honest, but very happy that we get this win, very important for us. And I want to congrats Red Star for this amazing game and this amazing atmosphere here in Belgrade. They play such a great game, but at the end we did some good job defensively and execute well offensively. So we just need to keep playing. Now we have some very important guys injured in the team, so basically we're playing without point guards. So, but there is a lot of guys doing great work there, helping us. So very happy about this game tonight.
You mentioned fans. You got some applauses. What does that mean to you?
Say again?
You got some applauses for the fans.
Well, I didn't expect it. I'm blessed to feel this applause here tonight in the arena here. So just thankful to the fans, to all the organization, Red Star, for this such a great moment. So, but like I say, I didn't expect it at all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, generous comments there from Nikola Mirotic, who also put in a claim for Adidas Player of the Game, the leading scorer with 21 points, 6 rebounds. Unfortunately, he had those 6 turnovers, as you can see down at the bottom, because he attracted so much attention defensively from Crvena Zvezda. No surprise, as he said, he is exhausted as he was double-teamed at many stretches. And we'll talk now to Coach Pesic, who spent 2 seasons here at Crvena Zvezda.
Coach, first of all, congratulations. How do you feel after this game?
We had big lucky because in basketball is you play 4 minutes, 4 times 10 minutes for quarter, and we didn't play very good. And but I say always, especially if you play away game like against one team in this atmosphere or other, away game is important to know that the third quarter can decide like tonight. I think we have the time to change some tactical things, especially in defense, because our defense was terrible. We can play always better in offense. We make for me demasiado mucho, too much turnovers, but with excellent defense we compensate, and I think on the end we deserve this victory.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Coach Pesic's certainly right in what he said about turnovers. So Barcelona with 18 turnovers. We'll be talking about that in practice this week. Of course, playing without a point guard, but his team caused 21 turnovers against Crvena Zvezda, which went a long way into explaining how he got the victory. Of course, Barcelona with that marvelous third quarter, 24-13, as we bring you highlights from this round 4 contest tonight. Certainly for the first half, Crvena Zvezda were a handful for the two-time champions, Barcelona. You can see a shot there from Gist. And here's where Mirotic struggled, down in the low post. And this shows you, great highlight here from our production crew as they're showing you how Crvena Zvezda worked and scrapped and hustled. And they also show you some regret there from the Barcelona fans. Brandon Davies with fast break pass here to Nikola Mirotic. Michael Ojo with a flush. But in the third quarter, really, Crvena Zvezda struggled to find anything on offense. They lost that quarter 24-13. As you see the old school bank shot there by Brandon Davies. And Coach Pesic can be pleased with how his team played defensively, because it was scrambling defense and trapping defense, which caused looks like that from the local fans. Mohamed Faye with a tip in there. But here's some defense here by Balmoro with the steal, and that led to tonight's 7 days magic moment, the thunder dunk from Roland Smits. Kyle Kuric got some good fortune with the shooter's bounce. Kuric, one of three players who finished in double digits for Barcelona. Kuric finished with 15, Mirotic with 21, and Brandon Davies with 14. Here's a look at the stats tonight. So the most important, of course, Barcelona wins 73-65. They had those 20 turnovers playing without a point guard. So 20 here, my stats sheet tells me 18. And so certainly coach will be working on that in practice. But congratulations to Barcelona on their win. Barcelona can turn their attention next week in round 5. They will host Valencia in an all-Spanish affair. And Crvena Zvezda get back on the road. They will go to Istanbul to play Anadolu Efes. Well, here's the scores from round 4. Ours right there in the middle as Barcelona rise to 4-0. They are at the top of the table. And as for Crvena Zvezda, they fall down into 16th position with that 1-3 record. They can look forward to playing next week to try and pick up an extra win. So for me, Liam Canny, it is good night from Belgrade. Join us tomorrow for continuing coverage in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Turkish Airlines EuroLeague in association with